Oh,
Closing out with a 17-4 run. Where's that killer instinct been all year?
I think that this year's just been in progress for us. I think team wise and individually. I don't think we've reached our full seat. That's something we talked about kind of pregame, is just pursuing 40 minutes of BC basketball and kind of what that looks like. And so obviously that falls on the individuals on the court. And I think we did a good job coming through. Obviously, Miami's a really talented team and they make shots. And so we needed every single shot we made tonight. And so, yeah, it feels good, obviously, to come out with a win. But I think that when we really hunkered down on defense to end the game, that's when it changed for us.
Yeah, but just talk on that defense. You never let them get, it looked like they were rolling, but you never let them get that like 10-0 run, 12-0 run, just talk about that.
No, I think in the first half they were hurting us with their 3-pointers. A little bit in the start of the second half. I think we took that away from them at the end. We made life hard. We changed up some of our sets on defense, switching from zone to man. And I don't think they knew how to respond. A lot of grit. We talked a lot on defense. Guys were playing with effort, pointing, talking. And I think it showed. And we, like May said, we hunkered down and we got it done.
Like you said,
Okay, go ahead.
basically like you said earlier, Miami's always been a team that's been able to shoot the ball really well. Last year there was a game, you guys lost to them, they put up 12 threes. This year though, you're able to stay in it, even though it's a 3-point shootout. How does that sort of speak to your team's development from this year to last year?
I think, yeah, the makeup of our team obviously a little different this year. And like I said, like we needed every shot we made. And so it's not always what we've kind of hung our hat on, but I think to be able to win games in different ways, speaks volumes about this team. And I think it'll serve us well down the stretch.
We've talked a lot about all year about starting faster. You guys jumped out to an 18-7 lead, but they were right there on you, on you guys. How do you kind of keep your composure at that point? But you couldn't have asked for a better start, but they're still hanging around. It just, what's the message of the talk about?
I mean, we knew they were a good team. They've been on a losing streak now, but we know they got guys that can play, and they can make shots. So we knew that it wasn't going to be easy, and we started off strong, which is improvement, I think. We talked 2 days ago with just the team, and we talked about how we need to progress in the season and need to finish out strong. And one of the points was starting out stronger, and I think we did that. And if you start out stronger, you give yourself some slack, exactly. And we knew they were going to make shots, but we responded. And in the second half, we did a lot better job defensively, and that's how you win a game. And like I said earlier, like you can't be trailing all game. It's just too hard. And you see we win that game.
Mason, so obviously your health struggles have been well documented this year. How does it feel to not only make the starting lineup over the past couple of weeks, but to go out there and have a career high 9 points?
I mean, like words can't really describe the feeling because I feel like I've been through so much even before I got here. Like I had 2 years prior to being here, and just like the ups and downs of my career, and kind of sometimes question like, is this really worth it? Because obviously, like there was a time where I was in pain every day, and so, yeah, man. I mean, I don't really have words to give you, but it's really awesome. That's what I'll leave it at because I don't have words, man.
QP, so North Shadow Mirror, Miami, he's kind of an interesting matchup. He's a little short, big, he's really physical inside. He can also stretch you out, hit the 3 from top of the key. What's kind of the game plan to defend the guys?
Well, he wasn't supposed to make those threes. I don't think that was on the game plan, but no, he's talented. He's a guy that's correct me if I'm wrong, made a Final Four, right? Last year, exactly. Yeah. So big physical presence. He doesn't have the height as most bigs in the ACC, but he makes up with his physicality. So tough matchup. He was making shots, what made it even harder than me. He can put the ball down. He's a good rebounder. So yeah, he made it tough on me all night, and good guy, by the way. He's
Good guy.
Good guy.
You guys have had good crowds all year, but obviously Bill O'Brien in the building. Is the Bill O'Brien effect real for you guys?
I mean, that's the variable that's at play here, so maybe. But I'll just touch on the crowd for a second. Like, obviously, we do appreciate everyone who came out. And I'm gonna highlight we didn't have that many people at the Louisville game, but the people that come, like they come every game and they're really passionate. And I think that means a lot to us. And so I guess I just can't like overemphasize that. That's really important to us. Obviously, we hear them more when there's more people, but we have a core of like 20 people who are really solid, and we appreciate those guys for sure.
Similar type of question. You see the students on the sideline wearing the suits. What's your reaction to that? How did this student help sort of get you across?
What was it about the suit?
They just had a Twitter thing going.
Oh,
Seesaw.
okay. I didn't do
I told a couple of those guys, the good looking dudes in the front row wearing those suits. I think that represent BC well on whatever we played on ACC Network. So I used to love being in the student section like in high school, and so that's something that kind of resonates with me. Obviously, it's when you're done playing sports, it's lots of fun to kind of still kind of scratch that itch in a way, some other way, and so. Yeah, obviously those guys are having fun, and girls too, but everyone's having fun. So it helps us for sure.
Finish up in the back.
So you guys both shot the three very well today. What went into that?
Just,
I mean,
we put it in the orange thing that just throw the ball in there.
yeah, I'll touch on Mace. Mace works hard. He works hard every day, and I've seen him struggle through a lot. Like we live in the same house, so I've seen him go through ups and downs, but I know that he works every single day, and so I'm just very proud of him keeping it up and shooting the ball well for us. For me, it's the same thing. I try to, put in the work and try to be consistent every single day in what I do, and it paid off today.
I want to credit QP too quick because little bromance thing going on. Like it's like through the ups and downs, it's hard, but I think that QP and obviously the rest of our teammates too, have done a good job just like kind of feeding into me, individually, but also, or pouring into me individually. And, I think also as a team, like that's something that we talk a lot about. So just through the ups and downs, just kind of staying even keel, and, QP has obviously done a good job as a fifth year guy.
All right, we'll go to questions from Zoom.
Yeah, you guys, and QP, you mentioned the zone man switch that you were doing against Miami. I know that your zone defense has elements of man-to-man, your man defense has elements of zone. How important is it to keep guys together over, multiple seasons to be able to complicate your defense when you're playing an opponent and continue confusing them?
Yeah, I think the zone is something we've been working on the last few weeks in practice a lot. Coach Grant just talks about putting more weapons in your arsenal. Yeah, we've been working on it almost every practice, I think, and today we reap the benefits. Having guys that are here for multiple years like helps, obviously, because playing zone or man, it just requires a lot of guys being on one string. I think at the end we racked up a lot of stuff, and that just shows the hard work.
And then I know this game retired the jersey of John Austin. It was the first African-American player of the BC program. What did it mean for you guys to learn about that story, his story? I know it was probably talked about this week at some point, but just how important was it for you guys to learn about that story?
Yeah, I think that I just saw the video they put up of Coach Grant too, talking about it. I think that and he mentioned in there, we wouldn't be playing for Coach Grant if it weren't for John Austin, and just kind of the path that he paved along the way, for African-American, men to be able to, and I guess all people, to just be able to all share the same space. And so obviously, for us individually playing for a black head coach, it's big, and that is something we touched on, and it was cool to have everyone back, to kind of honor John Austin. Obviously he passed away a couple years ago, but cool to have kind of family and friends in the building. And then obviously I know they honored the 94 Elite Eight team too. So lots of juice in the building. And yeah, it was cool to be a part of, lots of tradition.